What is up guys, I just made a new sample pack. It's called LÄMMERFYR House Package Volume 1. And in this video, we're gonna go through some of the sounds and try to make a small beat idea. Let's go. So in the sample pack, we have some ambience loops, some bassline loops, drum loops, melodic loops, MIDI patterns, one-shots, and piano loops. So if we take a look, and as you can see, most of the samples has a non-sidechain and a sidechain version, just for more flexibility. Like these samples would be so great to have playing in the background to really add some character to your tracks. Then we can go to the bassline loops. I had so much fun doing these. Like a lot of different bass sounds. I try to add a lot of swing to the bass lines to really make them groove a lot. And I think it turned out pretty well. This one is pretty cool. Okay, let's move on to some of the drums. So for the drum loops, I have included like a full drum loop, and then I have divided each like drum loop into separate bits like claps, hats, kicks, and perks. Just for like maximum flexibility. Like a lot of different flavored drum loops that you can use in your projects. Okay, so the melodic loops are like a combination of synth loops, chord stabs, pads, and a lot of different stuff. So this is like a folder for maximum inspiration. So let's just dive into it. Like some cool acid stuff going on here. And if you have watched any of like some of my other YouTube videos, you know that I'm a sucker for mellow sounds. Like a lot of different stuff, and as you can see, like everything is tempo labeled and also key labeled, so you can like make them fit your projects very easily. Okay, this one is pretty awesome. So it's made with like, I bought like the Arturia V9 collection with a lot of classic analog synths that are emulated. And I just had so much fun like tweaking all of the knobs and coming up with these sounds. And then they are like being routed through like creative processing like Guitar X6 with a lot of different components like reverbs, delays, phasers and stuff, because I'm just like a sucker for that. So this is not like your typical house sample pack. I'm trying to like imbue it with as much of the LÄMMERFYR character as possible. Okay, so and then for like most of the loops, there is like an included MIDI file. And then we have a lot of melodic one-shots. Like a lot of also different kind of stuff. Then we have some piano loops. I think this one is like one of my favorite sounds in the pack. Like so much cool stuff. Also a little bit more mellow stuff. Okay, so that's the content of the pack. Let's try to see if we can create like a quick beat idea using some of the components in the sample pack. So I think I'm gonna aim for a bass line at first. Okay, this one is actually pretty cool. So I'm just gonna grab the sidechain version, drag it into the playlist. Then let's try to aim for some drums. So let's see what we have. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do something with this loop. Firstly, we're gonna time stretch it so it fits the tempo. Okay, so there is like a perk that I'm not really fond of in this drum loop. So what we're gonna do, because we have maximum flexibility, I'm gonna use the kick drum, the claps, and hi-hats. Let's duplicate this. So now we have all of this. Much cleaner. Okay, so I've just sent these samples into the mixer track just to do a little bit of volume balancing. Because the bass line was a little bit too loud. Okay, we could actually try to see if we can find another perk loop that we can use for this small loop. I think we should try with this one. I really like those, like... Very nice. Okay, so we're in the key of A minor. So let's see if we can find a cool ambience loop that we can just layer in the background. So I think I'm gonna grab this one here, but I'm not gonna play this entire thing. I'm just gonna grab like a small area. So I'm thinking of just going for this particular area here. And then just have it as like a down hit thing. Then we're gonna send this to mixer track, put down the volume. Then we're gonna add like a lot of delay. The same for like reverb, also a little bit of that, the stereo. And then lastly, we're gonna do some EQ tweaking just to remove low end and also high end. So it's just like a subtle thing in the background. Okay, one last thing we could actually do just to add a little bit of extra movement. We could add the RC20, just remove the noise here. Add the shaper box and with some panning to it. So it's just randomly panning to left and right. There is like this pattern here, and then we're gonna put this to on-sync mode and like with a slow rate. Really cool. Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to let you know that I have launched a membership site where you can get exclusive access to sample, preset packs, full FL Studio projects that I have made. You can also get some video track feedback on music projects that you're working on. So check out my membership site via the link in the description. Okay, let's get back into the video. Okay, so now we found like a cool ambience loop. Let's try to search for some melodic loops here. So let's see. Okay, we could actually use this like chord step thing because it's not so busy. So we can just make sure that this fits the tempo of the track. Let's see. That actually works fine as is. So the only thing that I will do is that I'll route this to a mixer track. Just make sure that it's not too loud. Pretty cool. Okay, let's search for some more. Let's see. Okay, so I found this one. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna grab the sidechain version and let's see now, maybe we have to cut this a little bit to make it fit. Okay, so because there is like a little bit of attack to the sound. It's hitting a little bit late. So what we can do is we can just shorten the sample, move it a little bit. Just do a fade here. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut it here, and then we can grab here, highlight, and then press Ctrl B to duplicate across. This one is gonna be put to a mixer track as well, and then we're gonna do a little bit of EQing just to make sure that there is no low end messing up with the bass. Also, we're reducing a little bit of the top end just to make room for the drums. Okay, let's go search for some piano loops. This one might be too mellow, but let's just try to see if it fits. I'm gonna grab the sidechain version, so then I can have a little bit more control. So time stretch it and make it fit. So now let's see if it works. So I'm just gonna try to cut up the piano sample actually. So go to chop and go to complex and beat shuffle. And now we have some small bits. And then you can hear like a small pop and click. We just need to go to declicking mode of generic. Okay. This is just a matter of trying to find the right bits that works. So I really like this here. So I'm thinking of muting these. And maybe we could use this one as like the downbeat here. We actually have like a cool sequence here, in my opinion. So this one is actually pretty cool. So we're just gonna take all of this and just duplicate this across. I'm just freestyling right now. I don't know what I'm doing, but I really like to produce that way because then you get unexpected results. So sending this to a mixer track, go to shaper box for the side chaining, just like not a really heavy side chaining. Okay, and this like ambience thing is way too loud, so we're just gonna turn this down. And what I want to do with the piano is I will actually go to the sample here and turn it up, and then I will go to neutron, and then I will go to add like an exciter, add some tape excitement, maybe only to the upper part of the sound, just to drive a little bit more of the harmonics through. And just this area up here. Pretty cool. Okay, so what we could do now is that we can go to the one-shots, and then we can go find a sound that we like, and then we can go back to the MIDI loops, and we can actually take some of the melodies in there and try to make our own with the one-shots. So let's find some. I think I'm gonna try with this one. So we're gonna go here, let's drag it into like a sampler. I'm gonna go to the envelope settings and create a shape like this. Next, we're gonna go to the MIDI loops, and we're gonna find something that is in the key of A minor. Okay, this one, maybe. I don't know if it works. Okay, let's try this one, see if it works. I'm gonna send this to a mixer track as well. And then we want to add a little bit of delay, and we wanna add some reverb as well. Put up the stereo and put up the size. And then we have, let's see the sound. Give it a little bit too much of it. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. Let's see if it works. Let's put in the pattern into what we made here. So I think I'm gonna use this like in between here, only this first one, just as like a chord thing. Okay, it's actually turning out pretty nice. I think like one last thing that I will do is that I will go to arcade and I will go grab like a vocal sample. Okay, so we're gonna send this to a mixer track. Then we're gonna load up Guitar Rig 6. And then I have like one of my own presets. You can also find them on my web shop. This one called Awesome Lo-Fi Synth. Like a lot of different effects components. It can just make the sound really gritty. So we're gonna make like a new pattern here called vocal. And now we're just gonna try to jam out some stuff. Then we're gonna add some side chaining. We could actually also add a little bit more delay. And then lastly, I'm just gonna grab a vocal sample from Splice just to add a little bit more extra flavor to the sound. And we're gonna route this to the same with the arcade. And then we're gonna go here, put it to generic mode, and then we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the piano, just chop this up into complex, beat shuffle, and see what... There's like some stuff here that is pretty nice. Then if you go to the sampler, you actually have in this wrench, you have the possibility to add like a low pass filter. Just want to put this vocal chops in the background. Okay, so I really like this thing here. So I'm just going to highlight it and then duplicate it across. And I will say like this is actually it for a small beat idea. I think we have like a pretty weird, okay kind of drop here. Okay guys, that's it for this video. If you really like the sounds from this sample pack, you can go and check it out via the link in the description down below. As always, if you like the video, it means so much to me if you will smash that like button or even subscribe to the channel. And another way to support me, I have actually launched a membership site where you can get exclusive access to samples, preset packs, and full FL Studio project. You can read more about that via the link in the description down below. So I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.